One thing we can easily get wrong about our frugal living journey is that we forget to look back at our frugal habits from before times to see if they still work today. In this video, I'm going to share with you 10 of my classic frugal habits. Do they still work? Let's find out. Welcome, I'm Amy, and here at Frugal Over 50, I give you tips and tools for frugal living. Hola a todos, el día de hoy les voy a compartir 10 tips frugales clásicos para ver si todavía funcionan. Number 1, view frugal living as positive. Several years ago, I made a video that I called 10 frugal living habits that changed my life. And down at the bottom of that list at number 10 was this very one, view frugal living as positive. Because as I was coming through my childhood, my teenage years, and most of my adulthood, I viewed frugal living as something that wasn't necessarily positive, but was forced upon a person who lived in poverty. And I equated frugal living and poverty in ways that didn't really work for me. And as I started a more intentional frugal living journey, I made the choice to view frugal living as positive. And as I look back on my journey, I can see that that has really helped me to keep my frugal living game going and growing. And if you are struggling to view frugal living as positive, try what I did and uncouple it from the idea of poverty or even from being cheap. Frugal living, as Bola Sokunbi has told us here on the channel many times, is the act of being very intentional with your spending. It's very simple, that's all it is. And when we're being intentional with our spending, we can really view frugal living as powerful, as positive, and as empowering. When I'm being intentional with my spending, I always view frugal living as positive. And in fact, one of the things that tells me that my frugal living game is a little bit off the rails is I'll stop viewing frugal living as positive, and when I look carefully, I'll realize, oh, I'm not really even doing it. I'm not being as intentional as I could with my spending. As soon as I get more intentional with my spending, I feel more positive about my frugal living journey, and again, I feel positive about frugal living. You can do this too. Spend intentionally and view frugal living positively. Number 2, be resourceful. We all know the saying, use it up, wear it out, make do or do without. We've also heard the saying, make do and mend. These sayings help to remind us to be resourceful with what we have. And I have discovered over the course of my frugal journey that anytime I get away from being resourceful with what I already have, using it and enjoying it, I stop feeling so frugal, even if my bank account is doing okay. There's a mindset quality to resourcefulness where I look around my home and I see what I have and I look at how I can use it to benefit my life, to benefit my family, to benefit my community, to benefit the world. And suddenly frugal living has this power that goes just beyond my small individual choices. Being resourceful with what we have is a great little core seedling of a habit that helps impact our entire lives. I'll give you a really small example here. You folks are sitting on 3 things. I have my lap desk, I have a towel, and I have my desk that I work from. I could get a full-size tripod, and that's probably a good thing for me to be planning in the future. But right now, I don't really need it because I'm being resourceful with what I have. So you folks are sunning yourselves on a towel while I talk to you, and that's resourceful. Number 3, budget. Starting to budget is what started me on an intentional frugal living journey just over 5 years ago. And I am really proud of myself for taking that journey. I know that many of you have budgeted for many years and you did it almost instinctively as children, and I am so proud of you too. But for those of you who are watching, who are like me, who kind of struggle with the whole concept of frugal living and how to apply it, if you're not sure where to start, I highly recommend starting with a budget. You might do just fine with paper and pencil or creating your own spreadsheets. I personally use and love You Need a Budget and include a link down below in all of my videos where you can get 34 days free. I like You Need a Budget because I'm not good with adding and subtracting, and You Need a Budget helps me categorize everything that I'm doing and also plan it so that I don't get surprised, and then it adds it up for me so that I know what I've actually done. I love that method, and I recommend to you that you think of a budget not just as a way to track and not ever as a way to judge yourself, but as a way to plan, to look ahead and to prepare and care for future you and for your future life. Also, if you want a little bit more detail of what I think about budgeting, I have a whole budgeting series that I'll link up above and down below where I go into it in quite a bit more detail, and I hope it helps you. Number 4, change your shopping and household habits. I must confess that this is an ongoing issue in my life. I find that I am constantly needing to adjust and recalibrate my shopping and household habits. It never really ends, and I'm curious about this. For those of you who are champions at frugal living, do you find also that you have to constantly recalibrate your shopping and your household activities? I find as I look back that what I did 5 years ago doesn't necessarily work today, but even what works today might not work next week, and it's a matter of being flexible and constantly examining, where am I shopping? How am I shopping? How much am I spending? And then what am I doing with my purchases once I get them into my home? Am I fully utilizing them? See above under be resourceful. Or am I just kind of shoving them in a closet and forgetting about them? And I find that every era of my life requires a slightly different approach. I don't find shopping and household activities to be a sort of one and done, set it and forget it thing. It really requires constant, gentle, and detailed attention to really keep it frugal. And if you love everything about frugal living, would you give this video a like? Consider subscribing if you haven't already. And if you'd like to contribute to the growth of the channel, click the link below for coffee, where you can make a one-time contribution or become a monthly member. And if you love singing, I'm also a singing teacher, so message me over on Instagram at frugalover50 if you're interested in some singing lessons. I teach anywhere in the world. Number 5, and staying on the theme of shopping, use reusable shopping bags. I used to live in a place where plastic shopping bags were banned. They were just not available anywhere. And so everybody used reusable shopping bags. Where I live now, reusable shopping bags are optional. And so I find that I use them part of the time and I don't use them part of the time. What I have discovered is that when I take my reusable bags in, I shop more intentionally. I have recently been able to test this out because I have the option. At any moment, I can choose a plastic bag at the store or I can bring my own in. And if I bring my own reusable shopping bag, for some reason, that puts me in a more intentional mindset as I shop. And when I say intentional, I mean I intend to buy these things on this list and no more unless I realize I forgot something crucial and left it off the list, in which case it's fine. But it makes me more intentional to use my reusable shopping bags. I still don't use them all of the time because sometimes I intentionally get the plastic bags, which I then use for trash bags, a tip I learned from one of you folks a couple years ago. I'm curious about what you do and how you find that using either plastic bags or reusable bags affects your shopping. Tell me about it. Number 6, wait. And this means wait to purchase. That doesn't mean wait until it's a crisis or wait until you can't wait any longer and then wait some more. But it does mean anytime you get an impulse to shop, just think for a bit. Just stop and think for a bit. This is still something that I swear by. And we've talked about this a lot in the past, that a lot of us late at night when we're tired are very vulnerable and will put just about anything into our Amazon carts. Are you like that? I am too. But if you just put it there and leave it there, I bet when you wake up the next morning, you'll go look at that Amazon cart and you'll go, what did I do that for? I don't need that. When we are vulnerable, when we are feeling tired and sad and lonely, shopping always seems to be there for us. But in this context, shopping isn't really giving any benefit to our lives. It's just taking away our money for things that we don't need. So put it in the cart and then leave it, or just imagine it in your home without actually buying it. And wait and see how long you can wait before you make that purchase. The impulse may pass. Number 7, I've talked about it a lot here in the past, declutter. In fact, I've got a video I'll link up above and down below all about how to declutter. I spent the last several years of my life decluttering a full family home, and it was a difficult but also joyful process, and I took you folks along with me on some of that journey where I cleaned out kitchen cabinets and cleaned out all kinds of drawers because I knew that eventually I was going to downsize and move. And sure enough, I was able to downsize enough to move in the way that I wanted to. And I recommend decluttering to you, not just if you're thinking about downsizing and moving, but also thinking about future you. Do you want to saddle your future self with all of the stuff that's in your house right now? Maybe you could get rid of it by donating it to somebody who needs it and would give it a loving home. Maybe you could get rid of it even by reselling it and making a little bit of money, which you could then use for your groceries. It could be a real triumph. Decluttering can be emotionally painful, and I recommend that you take it a little bit at a time. And I have discovered just in the months that I have lived in my new place that I'm already looking around and asking myself, what can I declutter? What can I get rid of? What do I not need? Use decluttering as a way to empower yourself and as a way to propel yourself into your future frugal life. Number 9, routine. Having a routine set me on a solid path in frugal living. I found that establishing a consistent morning routine and a consistent evening routine for how I was going to wake up and get my day started, and then how I was going to end my day and go to bed at the same time every night if possible, really helped me on my frugal living journey, because I bookended my day with taking care of myself and taking care of my animals and taking care of all of the things that I needed to do, so that I was rushing around as little as possible. I think that for many of us, rushing around in the morning has been a fact of our lives during the time when we were raising our children in particular, and it may seem like a foolish indulgence to take care of ourselves in the morning and the evening, but I'd like to urge all of us who have been taking care of other people for so long, for so many years, to do that indulgence. Take care of yourself by having a wonderful morning routine and a wonderful evening routine where you wake up and go to bed at the same time consistently. You have meals that nourish you. You have quiet time where you can rest and relax and prepare for the day or prepare for the evening. That routine propels you into a frugal life because you won't be as vulnerable, you won't be as tired, you won't be as scattered, and you won't be as impulsive. Take care of yourself, and frugal living will take care of you. Number 9, we've had some really fun conversations here about reusable water bottles and how many of you absolutely love them. We know that staying hydrated when we're out and about is important, and we also know that buying bottles of water is not great for the planet and not great for our wallets. And so many of us have our favorite water bottles that go with us wherever we go. So tell me about your water bottle down in the comments. What color is it? How long have you had it? What do you love about it? Let's talk water bottles. Number 10, change your definition of entertainment. Is entertainment expensive in your mind? Does it involve paying more than you can afford for something you kind of maybe don't even enjoy? What really actually entertains you? Several months ago, I developed an interest in puzzles, and I really enjoyed putting together puzzles. Puzzles don't cost very much. They take hours to do. The dollar per hour entertainment value is absolutely unparalleled. And at the end of it, I had a piece of art that I could showcase in my home. Also think about going out of your home and say going to concerts. Could you go and be an usher, for instance? Do some kind of volunteer work at the theater where the concert is so that you can get in for free and also understand what's going on backstage? Same thing for sporting events. How can you contribute so that you enjoy, you are entertained, and it doesn't cost you anything, or it costs very little, and you might even enjoy it more because you have a richer experience. Change your definition of entertainment. The main thing I have learned for sure over the years of intentional frugal living is that there is no one magic system. You just gotta keep at it. And I always, when I'm losing hope, I remember the words of Thomas Edison, who said, "I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Wherever you are on your frugal living journey, take the next step, whatever that next step is for you, and know that you are not alone. And I am so proud of you. Live frugally, change your life, and together we will change the world. I can't wait to see you again soon. Bye-bye.